In a world that's constantly bombarding you with messages, how does a company stand out? What are things that keep you coming back for more? And how does a company maintain that attention? All this and more on today's episode of the Murdy Creative Co podcast. And welcome back to the Murdy Creative Co podcast. I'm your host, Colin Murdy, and today's episode is what is the deal with limited editions? But first, I want to say thank you to everyone who's supported the company so far. If you haven't got a chance, go check us out on the web at murdycreative.co. That's M-U-R-D-Y creative.co. And we especially thank everyone who has purchased product from us in the past. You can also check us out on our social medias to find all sorts of new stuff. All right, so some of you who've been the fans of the company for a long time have watched as the company has evolved and how we've tried new things, things that didn't work, things that did work, and it's been an exciting adventure. But one of the most recent things that we've started doing that I have loved is our new limited editions. And this started back in November, was when we first ran them, and we have been working on refining that process ever since. Now, what is a limited edition to us? And how does it relate to the limited editions we've done in past years? And what's the difference between a limited edition and a special edition? And those are all great questions. So in the past, we did limited editions twice, I believe. And with those limited editions, there was a specific number that was made, and we numbered them on the product, 1 through whatever. And so it was 1, 2 of, 3 of, so on and so forth. And we liked that. I liked that. But one of the challenges with that limited edition structure is that if we didn't sell a lot of those, we could have 2 years down the line, if you bought one, you got it and it was number 32 of 100, right? It's not as exciting, and it doesn't generate the kind of energy that we want to generate, right? So we got rid of the numbering system in part because it's not particularly helpful, and also because it has kind of a downside to it. One of the advantages of what we're currently doing with our limited editions is we are releasing a specific number that's a different number every week based off of how much we have, and that's truly based off the amount of leather available to us. So what's the difference between limited edition and special edition? So our limited editions are a specific number released based off of what quantity of leather we have available, and it's normally a very small amount that we get, and we basically run them kind of like tests, and they're in one item with one specific insert. That's a limited edition. The special editions normally are longer, and they have more options. So eventually, and I'm fingers crossed here, eventually, long-term, we're planning on having a blue, and I'm very excited for a blue. And I'm not talking about the bison blue that we ran not that long ago. I'm talking about a true, like our normal leather, classic blue. And that's currently being developed, and there's samples, and we've already done a round of prototyping that didn't work, and so it's coming. And I've said that for a while, but it actually is coming this time around. So with that blue and with the special edition that will be, the blue will be available for a few months, probably. That's the hope. Remember, like the stone last year, we had the stone available, I believe, from July through the end of August. So it was available for a couple of weeks, maybe 2 months, I think it was. And there was a specific amount, but it was available in almost all of our items. Not all of them, but a good vast quantity of our particular product line. Similarly, when we launch a special edition blue, that will be around for a long time. Well, not a long time, but it'll be around for several weeks, if not months, the hope is. And that is a specific amount. We do have a set amount that we're purchasing of that color. And the special editions might come back more frequently. For example, we may end up launching the special edition in blue. We'll buy a set amount of it. We'll see how it sells. Once it sells out, we'll evaluate, did that do well? Do we want to bring it back in the future? How soon do we want to bring it back? And all of those other things. So the special editions are those. And for example, if the blue sells really well, maybe we bring it back in the fall. I don't know. We'll probably not do the same special edition within a single year, although I can't promise anything because we'll see. At some level, you guys are the customers. You decide. But the limited editions are different because we're ordering significantly smaller quantities of those leathers. And when we run out of them, they're gone, and we may or may not be able to get them in the future. Now, this is an advantage if it allows us to test things. We are able to find out what things people were excited about. I'm fairly confident that the Murdy Blue is going to be a big winner in the long run because the Bison Blue that we ran sold out within 2 hours. And we had a lot of demand for that one. And we actually had quite a few of those available, too. So that one was a brisk mover. I'm really excited about the limited editions. We've had a wonderful opportunity with our tannery to go to the tannery. I went just 2 weeks ago, last week or whatever it was. And I went through all of their prototyping batches. So the tannery has piles in this case, sometimes large piles, sometimes not so large, depending on how much they're doing. But they have prototypes of samples of leathers that they made for one company or another, and either the company liked it or they didn't, or it wasn't quite right, or this and that and the other thing. And so they have these little kind of one-offs, right? And we've actually had quite a bit of leather in our back storage now that has been just sitting there for years. Samples we've got run that never made it past the prototyping phase for one reason or another. And so the idea was, okay, we can use some of these and we could get people engaged. And going to the tannery and finding their prototypes was great because they have a wide variety of things that are very exciting. And the limited edition for this week, I will give you a hint. And all of you guys pay attention because this is the thing you should get your wives for Valentine's Day. The hint is pink. And I'm very excited about it. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. So when I was looking through all of these different heights, they had all sorts of crazy things. And really, that's a big part of the limited edition. It's a big advantage of the limited edition is we can do wild things that would never make sense to do as part of our core line or would never make sense to do as a special edition because there's just not really likely to be enough demand out there to justify larger quantities, but there certainly is enough demand to justify smaller quantities. And so we get to do these fun things. Now, why do we limit to one item in one insert? 2 reasons. One, it's actually a broader sociological test that we're trying. I have a theory based off of a book called The Paradox of Choice, which is that we have too many options available. Now, that may sound crazy, and obviously I understand why on its face that sounds crazy, but realistically, when you are presented with too many choices, you get choice paralysis. The decision doesn't become, do I want this or not? It becomes, do I want this one or this one? And which one's better for me? And how do I kind of figure that out? And all of that stuff. And we can solve some of that anxiety, and we will be solving some of that anxiety with better website design, with more clear discussions, definitions between the various categories. One of the things I'm hoping to have on the website, maybe in the first quarter, but hopefully sooner, well, not sooner than the first quarter, but within the first quarter and sooner in the first quarter, is pages specifically set aside for reading, for writing. And it's going to be more like a blog post where it details the various kinds of tools that we have if you are looking for something to write on, and the details about the advantages and disadvantages of each of those. That'll hopefully help with some of this decision fatigue and some of this kind of paradox of choice problems. So when I was evaluating the limited editions and the conversation came up, well, do we want them to pick their inserts, right? The answer is not really. And the reason why is because the question that I want to ask you when you look at it is, do you want this or not, right? I want it to be a simple choice because that allows for that quick decision-making that's necessary, especially when there's a limited amount of them, right? And truthfully, all of our products that we make and sell have the refillable nature to them. So if you don't exactly like the insert that it comes with, you can find a different one and replace it, right? That's easy enough. So the advantage of the limited editions was the simplicity of the offer. And because we're doing weird, crazy things, we can do things that would be way outside of our normal, and we can still obviously try them. Now, I'm excited for a lot of the new ones. When I went last time to the tannery, I picked out, I went with a specific budget in mind and a specific amount that I was going to get, and I got like twice or 3 times what I was supposed to get, but I partially did it because I got a really good deal on them if I bought them at the volume that I was buying them, and they were happy to get rid of their prototypes. And so I got a lot of really cool ones, a lot of really weird ones too. And I've been really curious as this project has evolved to say, what is the better movers? The really weird ones or the ones that are closer and more kind of tangentially related to our core products, right? Does the hand-distressed brown do better than the weird blue bison, right? And I've been surprised. I thought the core products, the ones that were similar to the core products, would do rather well. But the ones that are the really strange ones, the really out there ones, are the ones that really sell well. The green that we did before Christmas went very quickly as well. And I'm really excited for the next few weeks, because the next few weeks are going to be awesome, especially with Valentine's Day coming up. This week is basically Valentine's Day for the guys to buy for their wives or their girlfriends. And the week after is going to be the time for the wives to buy for their husbands or boyfriends. So stay tuned. Pay attention. It's going to be great. Now, the why is a bigger question, right? Beyond the testing, beyond the simplicity, beyond the sociological test of decision-making and all of that other stuff, what's the real advantage of this particular project for us? And in my mind, the reason why we started it and the big advantage of it is attention. How many of you get emails all day long, every day? Every single one of us, I can imagine, is the one that does it. Maybe I'm unique, but I doubt it. I don't think I'm that unique. I get emails all the time from every company in the face of the earth, just constantly. And I ignore 90% of them. I mean, I open them, but I like bulk open them. I will sort them by name, and I'll say, okay, if you sent me 3 emails in the last couple of days, I'm going to bulk open and get rid of all of them. And with that in mind, how do you make it so that people want to open your emails? They want to know what's coming. They want to see what you're offering. And the answer is you have to offer them something. You have to give them something of value in that email. Now, our current email strategy has been pretty simple, and I frankly think it's working okay. I'm not like over the moon with its results, but at the same time, it's email. There's nobody that's getting over the moon results with email anymore. And it's Monday or Tuesday, we send out some type of informational or a product-focused email. And its goal is to inform the customer with more information about a specific product. Last week was the Slim Cut Binders. It did rather well. It was a pretty good email, I think. And so those are kind of targeting a product. The Wednesday email is about the podcast. The Thursday email is about the limited edition. And the Friday email is the behind the scenes. It's not that many emails a week, and frankly, I'm hoping that each one of those emails is interesting and valuable to you as the customer, right? We want to make our emails something you don't just blanket disregard. And so the limited edition has been a fun opportunity for us because I can see the open rates on the limited edition. I can see the click-through rates. Those emails are doing well. They're getting people's attention. And that's incredibly valuable because attention is so expensive in the world today. For me to get my product in front of you on social media and in email and in any other way is very expensive, right? And that's where when we look at the advantage and the balance of attention and website design, and this is where we need to improve our website design on purpose, is it took us so much money to get you to our website. Through paid advertising on Google, through paid advertising on social media, through email lists, all of those things. It took us a lot of money to get your attention in the first place. Our website has to make sense. It has to lead you to the answer you're seeking and to get you the product that you're after. And that's got to be done very easily and clearly. And that's where good website design is built, right? That's how it's made. So for us, we're using the limited editions, both because they're cool, because they're a unique opportunity for you as the customer to get something that is likely not available for a long time, if ever again. And that's another point of the limited editions I want to make. We may bring back colors. The blue bison may return sooner rather than later, and it may return, but not in the same item, right? The last time it was a composition cut with a moleskin insert. We will not be doing a composition cut for at least 6 months in the blue bison, if not longer. We have a lot of products to do things with, right? So we might bring the blue bison back in a different item. I don't know which one at this point, because a lot of times we decide that the week of. But the point is that it won't come back anytime soon, if at all. A lot of the things that we do will never come back, mostly because a lot of times the leather that we're using is truly, like I said, one-off and gone. And so most of the time when you see these leathers, they're not going to come back. Some of the leathers will come back because they were so popular and because we can talk to the tannery about getting more of them in a relatively efficient way. That's obviously part of this. But for us, it's exciting to know that once we can release these out into the wild, they'll go out and they may or may not ever come back, right? And they definitely won't come back soon. So for those of you who are wondering, who get the email and they open up the email and they go, I don't know, is this the right thing for me? Well, I don't know. I really like it. Don't wait. don't hesitate. Just get it. If you don't like it, you can return it to us, right? Almost always when we do limited editions, we have somebody or other email us asking if we had more than we offered. And in those cases, normally we offer the people that will let them know if anybody returns it. So if you're not sure, get it and then return it to us if you don't like it. We also have our payment options. If you say to yourself, I really want to get it, but I'm not going to get paid for a little while, right? I'm not going to get paid till Friday or whatever. I can't afford it right now per se, but I can afford it in a week or two. Use the payment options, right? A lot of times we have, I think almost all of our purchases, including this, you can break up into, I think it's 8 weeks. So it's 1/4 of the product is due every 2 weeks over the course of 8 weeks, right? So that's a factor in all of this that most people don't think about. But don't hesitate, because it really is likely to be gone. And we can't, I feel bad for the people that reach out to us and really want them after they're gone. I really do feel bad because I can't get you more. We don't have any more leather of it. We sold it all. So that's the reality that we're dealing with. But I'm loving the limited editions. They've been very exciting and very interesting and fun. And they provided me with a new opportunity to go and seek out leathers that would never have been on a horizon otherwise and try wild and crazy things. And the new products that are coming later in the year, that's going to really turbocharge the limited editions, because those products, those are going to be ones where the limited editions are going to be really special. So stay tuned on Thursdays to the new limited editions. I hope this explained a little bit of why we're doing them and what the logic is behind them and what the plan is for them. We are planning on doing them every week going forward. We'll see how long that, eventually I'm going to run out of products and run out of leather, but I doubt that's going to come anytime in the next decade. So we're going to keep doing them, and I'm really excited for them. So please keep paying attention to them. And thank you to all of you who've purchased the limited editions in the past. They have been a really big help and a big advantage to the company, and they've given us a lot of wind moving forward, and have been very excited for them. So thank you to all of you who've purchased them. I hope you love them, and I hope you know that they are truly special. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Be sure to check back in next Wednesday for the next topic. And thank you so much for those of you who've supported the company. If you have any questions about the product or anything we sell, feel free to reach out to us on the main page of our website at murdycreative.co. You can leave us a good review at murdycreative.co/review, or you can read our great reviews on Google or at murdycreative.co/reviews with an S. We have no minimum order quantities and no setup fees for our customization. You can get just one item with a logo or something. Make sure you have the copyright permissions. You can go to any of the product pages with the blue button and click Add Custom Logo. That will allow you to upload your logo. And if you don't see that blue button, you can reach out to us directly and we'll be happy to create a custom listing for you. We do have bulk discounts available, so you can get multiples of that thing that you like. You can get your company logo on it, and you can get 20 of them, and you can get the bulk discount. And that'll auto-apply in the cart. So all you need to do is add every item to your cart that you want, mix and match to your heart's desire. It's based purely off total cart quantity, and that starts at a minimum of 5 items. So be sure to check that out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a great day, and goodbye.